Good evening, my friends. I know it was 2 weeks when I didn't put my last video. The reason is very simple. I was on vacation, but I now coming back to explain a little bit about some stuff that is going to happen in this week. But something that I'm going to do in this occasion is try to explain a little bit the way that I see the market, the way that I analyze the market in the way that what the market can do or what cannot do according to the data that we have with us. Isn't that interesting that I want to try to show to you? So stay with me now. Saying that, I always start with a little comment. What is the comment that I want to say? It's important on when we're gonna try to study the market. It's important to learn the algorithms that the market is doing. Yes, the market is acting according to algorithms. That's the thing that we are working. That's the thing that we are fighting because the big companies, the big traders, the big institutionals, they not doing. They don't have any more people to doing this. It's algorithms who's doing all that. So it's important to learn how the algorithms work and how they go in that. It's important to leave the chart, study every chart, study every movement. It's important to leave the analysis that we are doing. Not only this analysis, you can go and asking to help to more people who doing real analysis of this, not people to try to sell to you information. People who doing real analysis. There is a lot of people who doing very good, many of them. But something very important is trading the psychology. The last 2 weeks is a very proof of that. How strong you are in your mind, how weak you are in your mind. You can get FOMO, you can fear missing, you can get scared of the market. It depends to how much you are scaring. You can do good or bad in the market. That's important to know. That's the big message that I have with you now. How I studied the market. I mentioned it before. I studied the undulation of the movements of the market. All the market is moved on this way in undulations. Is going up, is going down, is going up and going up. And let's see in here, just here in this weekly in weekly temporality, with let's do it here in weekly candles. Is going up, is going down, is going up, is going down, is going up, is going down, is going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Always doing that. And what the investors try to do is exactly that. Sales when the price of the ticket is high, buys sells when the and buy when it's cheaper. That's the way to doing profit. So if we can thinking why the market continue doing that is because that's the way to doing profit. The big institutions, they are start to selling, the position start to selling. That's the reason that this start to going up. All the retails people that you and me, all the people who start to be part of the market, we start to buy in that, and the institutions continue to sell, continue to sell. All the people like you and me here, we try to buy it. So they float in the market with some price of the ticket and we are buying. When they feel that the market is enough flow, they stop to sell. They start to sell. So when these the retails start to not buying, start to see that there are no more tickets available, so the price of the ticket start to going down, going down, going down, going down. So the price of the ticket is going down here, and in some point start to doing this, and the institution start to buy it again. Is the idea is to get profit to here to here. This profit is a offer and a demand law. Use that simple is the market, and is going always in this way, always in this way. Flow the market with a lot of tickets, so the people start to buy and buy it when it's down. So you get a profit between here and here. And these movements actually is a study. Some people who study these undulation movements was learning that this movement is doing in some kind of cycles. And every ticket they own cycle, each one, everyone. We can see here these cycles. Look, in general, the S&P, the SPY have a big movement here, that this cycle going down, going up here is this cycle, and right now is in the next cycle. When it's gonna finish, we don't know, but it's in the big cycle. And between that cycles, there's a minimum cycle going and stops here, going and stops here, going and stops here, going and stops here, going and stop actually here. That's this one. That's the next one. You know, and also another here. That's the minimum here. Go here, going, and we are in this point, etc. You know, is going on every temporality. You know, in the weekly candles, monthly candles, daily candles, hour candles, 15 minutes candles, any candles. You have this movement that buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. That's the way that the markets work. That's the way that the market get profit. That's the way that the people who study the market get profit. Try to buy cheaper and try to sell expensive the tickets. That's the way that the market is working now. If we going a little closer to this, we can see it that right now it finishes on this ondulation. It finishes here. And like I tell you, you can see this a weekly is also on daily. Not all the time the daily and the weekly is together, you know, but we can see in here too. And look the undulations is going here, going here, going here, going here on the dailies. You can see this going here, going here, going here. Okay, good. Because it's also going in hourly, also going in any movement. So this daily undulation we can see here. The first one, not always is exactly there. Can go loose 1 week, 2 weeks, some days up, some days down. This one is going here because it's this undulation going here. This undulation is going up, a drop is here to this undulation. This triple undulation here. Going down, and it because it's three of them, that's why it was kind of aggressive, you know, the finish of them. As you remember, I was mentioning to you that when 2 weeks ago, when we was on this point, approximately in this point, I mentioned it to you that it's gonna be 2 more weeks that probably is gonna drop. Remember that I mentioned it? It's not have to be nothing about the news. It not have to be the war versus Iran. It not have to be nothing about Taiwan, nothing about nothing. It not have to be with the election of the United States. It had to be with no news. The news is focused. Many of the news are actually selling by the big media. And guess what? The big media is part of the market. They put the big media in some point to why to create a scare to the retail people, to create a scare to all the people who invest and sell and buy in that moment. All that is just media could try to sell some news so you can sell it, etc., etc. It's just media. Don't worry about the news. It's not that important. It's real not that important to the market. But 2 weeks ago, I mentioned it to you that the market probably is going to drop. It's going to drop a little more. Why? Because we are in the end of this ondulation. If we are in the end of this ondulation, and that's why the market probably is going to have 2 more weeks to drop. Remember that? I mentioned it to you. Yes. And what was happening? Now, this is something important to know. What the market can do it the next weeks. What the market can do on the next weeks. Oh, The problem that we have right now is that this point of this undulation is lower than this point of this undulation, and is lower at this point of this undulation. Now we have this problem. This one is lower, which means that the market start to going on the down movement. That's a problem on the next week. This, yes, start to recover, but we have to pay attention during the next week and the week after. Is this movement is gonna fail and going under this point, or is gonna fail, is going over this point, or is not going to fail and doing the undulation around here. That's very important. This is the big three scenarios that is going to happen the next week. But that's the three biggest scenarios that the next week the undulation system is going to tell to us. This is very important to know. How we know is one undulation is going to fail or not going to fail. It always depends on the beginning of the undulation. Look, on the beginning of the undulation before the half, what happened here? Going up before the half and start to break down before the half. Maybe very fast start to break down. So the undulation, we know it that after some point, we know it that it's gonna be deep down in some point according to this undulation. But look this one. Look this one here is going past the half on the undulation, and they continue, and they finishes here. They finish it like this. So this is up undulation, you know, and you can see it on this one here. Here is start to go, is up, past the half, is up, finish it, and continue. So this is up undulation, and you can see it here. This one here before the half start to break and going down, you know. So this is going down to this, but in this occasion you can see it that the next one is continuing up. Lose this one here, going, not breaking, going, not breaking, and continue going, not breaking. So this undulation continue going up because it's not breaking before the half. Right now, we are in that situation. We are before the half. You know, let's see how good, how bad. So that's why it's very, very important the next week. Is this undulation start to break down in the next week? Let's see. Let's see how good, how bad they're gonna coming back. It start to break. Let's see, it is going to be under this point, or is gonna be before this point. That's something that we don't know. Or is not breaking, is going over this point. That's simple. That's the way that the market is reading on this undulation system. That's what I had drawing here. And like I mentioned it to you, all the tickets have the same concept. Look, this one, you see, going, pling, it right now going up. Let's see, it is going up enough or not. Let's see, is this 20 average create to me enough resistance or not, or this 55 average is creating me enough resistance or not. And let's see what they are doing to going down to the next, or going here, or going up here. That's the part that we need to be carefully. Is this going up? Is going up to all the way to here, or is going up all the way to here? That's the thing that we have to check on this undulation system. Every ticket is heavy. I don't have drawing on that. Every ticket. Look, the EWM. Looks here, the system. Go undulation, and we are in this point. Microsoft is also have too. Look, very interesting, you know, it's going up, it's continue, and look on this undulation, start and breaking before the half, and go all the way down to the end of the undulation. Let's see if after that is gonna do another break or is going to resist or is going a little up. All the tickets doing the same. Let's see it on NVIDIA, you know, it's exactly the same. We can see it that here is going up, it start to break before the half, it start to break, is going down all the way here. Let's see, is this going break down, is going to the half, is going to the middle. So the next week is very important. The next 5 candles is going to be very important to see what is going to do. Amazon, we have here the system, Google, Meta, etc. All the companies have Meta. I like it because this looks very positive. Yeah, I know that they breaking down, but we already passed the half of this movement. So we really don't know how aggressive can be every movement, or and there is a way that there's a different technical analysis that is can help to us to know how aggressive can be every movement. We can use Fibonacci for that. For example, here Fibonacci right now is in the 50 points. When we know that this undulation system is not going to break, when it's passed over the 70%. So this is gonna be my resistance. This one here is gonna be my resistance, but if it start to break down before this resistance, according to Fibonacci, if it start to break down before that, how deep they can go, there you go. Deep to this point, that is this point, this support, that deep can going down. So we had to see if this system breaking down before they can go all the way to this point, or in not breaking, is breaking over, they can support and to continue. That's the importance. So that this is my important resistance, this is my important support on this undulation system. And we have to pay attention on the next week. Something that we don't know how aggressive can be this one. Right now we can see it that on the market. It's something that we don't know. So I'm gonna talk in a little more about that. Something that we don't know is how aggressive can be. What depends on how aggressive can be? Another way to see this undulation system is on this graph, the smart money, dumb money. Is another way to see it. How the retail institutionals going. If this going up, lose here. If this going down, lose here. This going up, the dumb money, this here. This together going up, continue growing, etc. We can see that in the 5 years, we can see that the last 3 years. And this communication between the retails, the red is the retails, blue is the retails, it looks like it's very similar to the S&P 500, but the truth is that is the way that both communicates. We can see this in the last year. 1 year ago, when they start to sell, or they go up because they start to buy because the down money start to sell, so they buy it cheap. So because they are buying, retailers start to get excited. Oh, it's time to buy. So they start to sell the smart money. So all the down money start to buy. But sometimes they going together, like here, both are buying. So it is continue. The down money start to buy, the smart money start to sell, and they go in here. Is this movement of demand and offer, buying and buying tickets and sells tickets constantly, is the way that is create this undulation in the system, this undulation in the S&P 500. It's important to know that from where it's coming, and we can see more close. Anyway, now something that we don't know is how aggressive can be a movement, how aggressive can be. That depends on the macro, all the economics news. we already know that we coming with this movement on the undulation, but we don't know how aggressive can be this movement. That depends on the macro. So what's happened in the macro the last on this economics news the last 2 weeks? Let me show you. This is the 5 big news that can affect the market in general. This is the inverted yield curve. That's one of them. And let me show you the corporate profits, the unemployment, the start housing, etc. Now, let's see the which one. The inverted yield. What happened with the inverted yield is this one here. When it's inverted, when it start to uninverted, and when it start to be a normal yield, like this, is not inverted, it start to be a normal yield, the market start to be scared, but because every time that is doing this, we're going to recession. So the people start to be scared. And what's happened in reality? Let's go in here. I have it here. There you go. What happened in the last 2 weeks? It start to go down, go down, go down, go down. And it's kissing the point to be abnormal, to uninverted. It was kissing that and bouncing a little bit, but it start to coming close and close. This is the most close. Actually, they kiss the an inversion start to be very close. It was never be that close. Only when is get the inversion. It not being that close. And every time that does happen, here the recession, you know, the 2020 recession. Every time that does happen, let's go back, go back, go back. Here, when it's an inverted, what happened? The recession that we have here. You know, that's why it's scary. The people get scared when this movement start to move it. And you can see that actually kissing the point to be uninverted. It's just kiss. And everybody gets scared. So, oh, Nanita, ay, Nanita. Wow, it was so close. What other factor happening? The unemployment rate. The unemployment rate that we see here, one is the yield curve, another is the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate is growing to 4.3, but more important than go to the 4.3 is the real-time sun rule. This rule does mean that go to 0.53. We can see here in the news, you know, in the news of the last 2 weeks, that was the Friday, August 2. The unemployment rate is going to 4.3, and actually it was coming more and more and more. We can see 1 year is coming more. 5 years is coming, going more and more. This is not a good news to the market. So 2 of the 5 economic data start to be, that's why the market gets scared. That's the reason that the market gets scared. Let's back to my presentation. And what is the sound rule? What is that? The sound rule. It says here, the sound recession indicator signal the start of recession when 3 months moving average of the national unemployment rate rise by 50%. And that's happened on this unemployment. It was the third month and going over 50%. That's why here, that's not bueno. That's not good to the market. So the market gets scared. What date is happened? Let's go in here on August 2. August 1, August 2. August 1, August 2. It was happening on this candle. So it was happening here. They announced that it's going here is trigger that indicator, the RAM indicator, and what happened the next 2 days. Complete synced the market. Is what very aggressive because the unemployment is not good. And that's what I said. thanks to that indicator, we have this situation to going under this in the buckle in the movement of the market, on this movement, on these oscillations of the market. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. Everything depends if we recover this point or not the next week. That's why it was very aggressive. That's two of the five. It was very, very aggressive. So two of the five. Corporate profits, the earnings was in some corporate good and some corporate not. So it was a normal, so this was okay. Housing start, actually in the housing, let me see two different points. The real estate, they continue selling more and more. It looks like it's coming better. So the real estate start to recover. The home builders, actually, they are fighting in the highs, on the highs, yearly highs. They are fighting in the highs. So the real estate is not really affected, you know. Now, what other stuff affecting on the economics? Okay. What other stuff? The TLT, the bonds. It was a lot of money who moved it from regular market to the bonds. That's why the people get nervous too. So in the economic, the volatility index is going very high. Actually, something very interesting to mention it on the volatility index was this spike here. Is we going here on the weekly, this spike here. This spike only on the recessions is that high. But this is something very interesting on this spike. Only on recession is go that high. The market in general movement is still up, and the big general movement is still up. But it gets scared. Just to mention it, that's something that that the investors get scared on these spikes. But well, the market yield, you can see that it's dropping. The bonds is going up, and that didn't like it. And of course, start to mention it. Some of the investors or start to say that why the Fed didn't cut rates, that why the Fed didn't cut rates, and why now we don't have that emergency cut rates, etc., 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 etc. Is go scare. We can see the last week. This is the current rate. They get scared. They get scared. We want one cut rate. It is going to 1 month ago to 85 to 1 week 74, and now it's a little more stable. And the people start to calm down. Is not seeing the news without the scareness, everything. And right now, it's thinking to be one cut rate, maybe. But if we have a cut rate, depends how scared is the economy, depends how good or bad is the economy. If we have a cut rate, we can get a recession like this when we start to get the cut rates. So it's something to make attention. Now, a little more things to mention it. That's the way that I saw the market, and we in these big bubbles, and we can seize on every ticket. No, let me put here on the weekly, on the daily. Sorry, we can seize on this on every ticket. What I expect in the next week depends how it's doing the next week. We can go up. This is for now. This is my resistance. This is gonna be my support. Is going down over under this support is probably is gonna be going to this point of the on this undulation. Is going here and holding here. Probably is gonna bounce it, or can go here. Probably is gonna bounce it. That's my three scenarios. Let's see what happened. But it's important to know that my resistance is going to be in 541. My support, let me grab in the support. My support is going to be here, on the 521, 541, 521 is going under 521. We can thinking that the market is going to continue dropping. If we going over 541, we can say that everything going behind. Tommy Lee says that everything is already passed. Let's see what happened. On the QQQ, we can see that also here is in the bottom of this on this oscillation. So we can start to drawing my resistance. My resistance is going to be this one here. It is going over this. It probably is going to touch the 20 average. Same as this. Probably is going to touch the 20 average. Let's see what doing with the 20 average. They can be a resistant or not. Probably is going to touch the 20 average and is going up. Everything can be good. My resistance is going to be the 200 average. This one is going to be my resistance. Is going under this point. The QQQ is going under this point here. Under this point, that means that probably going to continue go down on the undulation on this one or more, or maybe this one. Undulation down is going over here. Probably is going to be that. The EIA, the same as the EWM, we can see that they didn't finish. We had this undulation here, but we had the weekly undulation here. So let's see how it's coming. The same, this is my resistance, this is my support. Microsoft, actually they finished before. So let's see how it's coming. Up, coming down, but each ticket is almost the same. The 20 average is coming. It is going over the 20 average. This is going to be my resistance. This is going to be my support. It is going up here. That's good. It is going down here. That's the market is going to continue dropping. Apple, we can see the same thing. Now this is the 20 average. Apple is closer to the resistance. Is closer here. It is going here in the 20 average. That's good. It start late the undulation. Let's see it in as a fake, almost get the half. Let's see, not coming here. It depends what they are doing here. That's on my support. That's my resistance. That's my support. Let's see what happened. Nvidia is already bounces here. My resistance is coming, the 20 average is going to be around here. My resistance is very close. It depends what the R is doing, and my support is going to be this one. So it is going up or is going down. We can say what they can do it. Amazon also finished the undulation here, but they finished very bad. They hit the resistance, the 200, but they had a big gap. Let's see what it's doing. It is continue to try to close the gap or not, or the 200 average, the 200 average, the 20 average, the 55 average. It is a low or a lot of resistance to try to get over. Let's see, not coming down. Google is happened the same. Actually, Google, it didn't finish to drop yet. Well, I didn't drawing yet the intermediate. It's around here. Let's see what it's doing. Google, Meta, but Meta it looks good. Actually, Meta it looks good. They already almost recovered this high. Let's see if they're going. Actually, it looks very good in all the indicators. Is looking very good. Let's see, not start to drop in the tomorrow, the next days. Let's see, it's continue going up or down, etc. That's what we said. But you can see it that almost all the tickets bounced on this point. Now, as the market, what can happen during the next week also? The next month, we have this and the regular seasonality, but in the election years seasonality, we had these two things. Number one, on the end of July is get the dip, and August, September, moving up on the oscillation to finish October on this way. Right now, we get the dip. Let's see how aggressive is they are going up. Is going here, and finish it, or going to finish it, or going finish it. That's something that we don't know. We don't know how aggressive it can be, but the next 2 weeks, according to the temporality, is a very good years. If we coming back to the S&P, we can here is finish on November is when the general movement finish. So is from here we going all the way to here, we going all the way to here, or we going all the way to here. Let's see what happened in the next 3 months, but it looks like it's bouncing during the last week, next week, etc. Let's see. Here is another way to see it. Tomorrow is 12 to 15. Is this bouncing here? Let's see. It does important. But what depends is the market complete bounces or not. We had three important things the next week: the PPI, the CPI, and the contract expiration. PPI, CPI, and contract expiration. And we can see in here. We had the PPI the Tuesday. PPI, it looks good here in numbers. Good, that's the production inflation. The production inflation for the producers. Let's see how good can be. But the inflation is not looks good, the consensus on the forecast. That was the previous, it not looks good. That was the previous, it not looks good. That was the previous, it not looks good. So the inflation is not good numbers. We had that the Wednesday. Let's see how it's coming the numbers. The Thursday we had a manufacturing index, we had the business index, blah 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 blah. And the Friday we had the finish of the contracts. Let's see how it's coming. Here is some information about how can be the finish of the contract and all the history. The S&P 500, 22 positives, 20 negatives. On the day of the option expiration days, that's the Wednesday. The third week of every month is the operational option expiration date. The expiration week, so this week, 22 positive, 20 negative. The week after, actually, it's very good, 28 positive, 40 negative. Let's see what happens. Same on the QQQ, same on the Dow Jones, etc. Let's see what happens. It's just to finish. In the seasonal performance days, next week is flat, according to this. But we cannot be sure. Can be good, can be bad. Let's see what happens. So, I hope that you liked my video. I love you. Set likes if you like it. Recommended my channel. See you next time.